Great Greys, your one-stop shop to finding winners across Australia from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Hall of Famer Neil Brown, Jaycin Campbell to look at Queensland and Tasmanian chasing, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, New South Wales expert Simon Orchard, and the Shane Train Williams rounds it out with his key plays and kennel mail in WA. Now, over to the team for this week's edition of Great Greys.
Good morning and welcome along to Great Greys on this Thursday, the 1st of August 2024. Happy birthday to all the horses today, and I hope you're all travelling particularly well and got through what was a pretty wet and woolly night. Of course, the program locally at Mandurah was abandoned there last night with lightning surrounding the venue. I think we'll have a lot better luck today there at Northam, and as well we should, because we've got quite the program. It's a 12-race card and, of course, highlighted by a couple of heats there of the WA Sprint Championship. Of course, top four to go through from the two heats into the final next week, and the winner of that to go and represent WA. There'll also be that distance final on the program there and next week. Joining us to have a little bit of a chat about that, as well as all things Darwin. He's up there as we speak. The Shane Train Williams now joins us on Great Greys. Welcome to your Train.
Yeah, good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners.
How's it all going up there in Darwin?
Yeah, so far so good. We survived night one, Shorty. As I said to the boys earlier this morning, this is not my first rodeo, Shorty, so you can't go getting too loose on the first night and be struggling for the rest of the trip. So I had a pretty quiet night last night, just a few quiet ones, met up with a few regulars that come to Darwin, and I was tucked in bed before midnight.
Oh, it's very responsible of you, Train. It must be said, though, you learn from your mistakes in life. There's been a couple of trips that we've been on the way through where the first night the bit of excitement kicks in and can take a little bit of getting over, but it sounds like you're nice and fresh and ready to help out the listeners find a winner or two. I was just touching on the fact last night's meeting got called off, but we're left with a ripper 12-race program today there at Northam. We've got two heats of the WA Sprint Championship, and my goodness, these two heats are absolutely chock full of quality. Whatever happens from here, we're going to end up with a stellar final there next week.
Yeah, we certainly are. That was a bit of a shame about last night, Shorty. I was really keen on that program, but nonetheless, dog safety comes first, so they'll be saved for another day. But yeah, tonight's two heats, Shorty, they're really exciting. There's a bit of mix, isn't there? There's a bit of young, there's a bit of old, and one thing I've learned about Northam is I think the more runs you have up there, the better. And some of these dogs, although they've trialled there once, they're probably having their first start there, and I just think that gives the edge on a few of the other runners, like Barbecue Man and Disco Daisy and Burglemere in the first heat that had that 3 or 4 starts up there. Just that turn can be tricky, and I've just found with dogs that I've taken up there, their 5th and 6th run up there, that's when they've really cut their time down. So interesting. The first heat, we see Barbecue Man probably heads up the market with Miss Envy, who's a nice young pup on the way through for the Shinners camp. A scintillating 29.05 there at her last start, albeit in country class. Just a step up in class is going to be whether she can handle that or not. But for me, Shorty, pound for pound, I think Barbecue Man, just because of the fact that we've talked about that, he's had the 3 starts up there for 3 wins, but Paul's probably give him 3 or 4 trials as well. So now, you have any 7 for 8 start around that circuit, and dogs like Kuro, Uncle Tommy, although they've trialled there, they just haven't had that race experience there. So I'm probably leaning that way in Heat 1. Did you have a thought on Heat 1? Or?
Yeah, so just the tab touch market to start with, and the movers there for the listeners. Miss Envy open 215 out to 220. Barbecue Man 360 into 320, seeing good support. Uncle Tommy, dual Group 1 winner, 550 into $5. Hinto 6 out to 750. Disco Daisy 11 as big as 15 now 9. That's a dog you mentioned that had a bit of experience there. It's at a big price. Burglemere 11 to 12. Agent 11 26 into 21. Seen a bit of specking, and Dandelop Blaze has been 23 out to $31. Yeah, look, I think the fact that this is at Northam, you've got to play into the dogs, as you've touched on. Uncle Tommy, I'm sure, class-wise, as a dual Group 1 winner, would come into a race like this, had it been at somewhere like Cannington, as a super chance. But having not raced there, there's a small question mark there. But Barbecue Man, I think the dog that the money's come for, I think if you're sort of having a bet, still around that 320, it's a spec worth taking, knowing that the dog's been racing really well. I have massive respect for Miss Envy, putting together a really nice CV, 6 starts from 9 attempts, and 29.05 last time out from the same draw. Quite simply, if she turns up and runs to that, even if Barbecue Man runs well, he's going to have to run out of his skin to beat her. She's right up in grade, so the key is getting the start right and then coping with the pressure of potentially a couple of dogs that will be there turning it on. But just with a differential in price, maybe lean towards Barbecue Man. But those two with the track experience do look to be the two key prospects. I think the market's got it pretty right. Hinto's a dog that I love. If this was at Mandurah, he'd probably be the bet for me on an each-way basis. But given that he's having his first start there on race day, it's got to be a bit of a query. So I think the market's pretty right there in the first of the heats. And the second of the heats is having a look at the Tab Touch fixed odds market. Firelighter opened up at $2, now into $1.90. Transcendent $3.80 into $3.40. Really talented greyhound, winner 8 of 9. It's run some spectacular times on the way through. Daddy's Girl off box 1, 7 into 5, seen some good support. Curo 6 to 7, Gimli 10 out to 12, Trevor's Gift 21 to 26, Eugenius 21 to 31, and Bungee Man 21 out to $31. I thought the run of Firelighter behind Barbecue Man last time out was exceptional. It drew wide on the track in box number 7 and had to do all the work outside of Barbecue Man. I thought with no rails advantage, Barbecue Man may have sort of kicked away and put a bit of a gap on Firelighter late, but to the credit of this dog, it stuck to its task really well. Was only beaten 3/4 of a length in the end. The time was still pretty strong, 29 and 41. Big danger is Transcendent, and this dog has won 3 of 4 at the track. It's run some quick times as well on the way through. Just needs to get across early from box number 7, and if it can do that, it's right there as the key danger. And then obviously, other dogs there that are capable. Daddy's Girl's been racing well. I think it probably just about ends there just from a lack of track experience and what they can do on the clock. So pretty trim for me. I'm backing 3 and potentially having a save on the 7 there in that second of the heats.
Yeah, I thought the same. Shorty Firelighter be second up now after 6 weeks, so you'd think he would strip a bit fitter from that run. He stuck on really well. I thought Barbecue Man would sort of beat him a bit more easier, but he's stuck on really well, taken a real liking to the Northern Circuit. The only little query I have is Eugenius in 4 does like to cut to the fence, so he might want to have to get on his skates early to get out and go to Miss Eugenius. And we touched on Transcendent. He's a nice pup coming through, awkwardly drawn, though, doesn't have a lot of speed. So I don't know where he's going to get to from out there, but no doubting his ability. He's got a stack of it. And I just thought Daddy's Girl, she won the Futurity in Brisbane from the 1 box. And she went a little bit out of sorts there for a while, but she's bounced back, won 2 of her last 3 in 29.47 was the best time there. So, yeah, I'm probably with your Firelighter from Daddy's Girl in that heat, Shorty.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really good couple of races, though. Peter O'Neill will join us later on this hour to have a look at those 2 heats and some other thoughts. He would be calling the meeting today there at Northam. What about the remainder of the program there, Train? You got anything of note for the punters to get involved with there tonight at Northam? The first race on the program takes place at 4:41, 12 races up for grabs.
Yeah, I'm going to kick it off race 5, Shorty, number 8, Magic Entry. This dog's really been a revelation since Tim Gummo's taken it to Northam. I sort of penciled it as a bit of was dog just happy to run second there for a bit, but really turn its form around. Bumped into a few smart ones lately. But then when them dogs have not been in there and it's had the bad draws, it's still been able to cross and win and run good time. So Magic Entry will kick us off there. Just got to get over it. It is tricky from the 8, but I just think not a lot of speed in it, and it's just found a race. I think it can jump on the arm and win, and that's what we needed to do, Shorty, jump on the arm. Race 5, number 8, Magic Entry. And then we'll go over to race 8, number 3, Outlaw McGraw. Dog trained by Michael Hine. He's just drawn horrible his last 3 or 4, Shorty, out wide, and just hasn't got a chance to get into the race. He only got to go back 4 starts. He drew box 4. He went 29.36, jumped on the arm. So the move back to box 3 tonight would be ideal. Just need a little bit of room for the first 5 metres to leave him alone, and then he's got that brilliant pace to get going. But I thought he'd be hard to beat in race 8, Shorty. And then race 9, number 2. Well, it's not a Northern's Thursday night without Paul Stewart getting a winner, and he could get a few tonight. But Arbolino, I see it's short. It's come up about $1.65, I think. But yeah, really looks his race. Small field, not bulletproof early, so he's going to need a little bit of time to wind up, but he'll get that up the back straight. And he was very impressive last week, Shorty. I was actually in the race, and it actually pelted down just before the race, and I think the track got pretty heavy. So 29.50 in those conditions, I think, was pretty good. So the 3 plays for me tonight at Northern is race 5, number 8, Magic Entry, race 8, number 3, Outlaw McGraw, and race 9, number 2, Arbolino.
Alrighty, so 5-8-8-3-9-2 for the train for this evening there at Northern. We've got some good chasing on Friday and Saturday night. Friday night Express Stake Heats on there at Mandurah, races 6 and 7 on the card, and they're littered with high quality performers. The first heat, Vaucluse Bale, Unleash Mayhem, Artisan Artist, Sunset Tyson, fresh off a hot win there last week in that small field. Kachu, Sand Patch has been flying for Daryl Smith, Custard Manelli, Wild Amigo. And the second heat sees Respect Advocacy, moves from box 8 to box 1. Probably not ideal. Prefer to see that dog drawn wide. It likes to use a bit of the track. Andre Bale, Apache Havoc, Bandit Bullet, Sunset Peppy, Cubit Manelli, Long Johnny and West on Miley. 2 excellent heats of the Express Stake there on Friday night at Mandurah.
Yeah, I think the first heat, Shorty, there's probably 3 main chances. 2 Unleash Mayhem, 4 Sunset Tyson and 6 Sandpatch. Unleash Mayhem had a go at the 500-metre trip and just couldn't run it out, so they've elected to drop him back to the 400 metres. He's got a PB there of 22.24, so that's going to be really competitive for a race like this. And we know Sunset Tyson, very hard to catch, but that might have given him a bit of confidence last week, Shorty, that win. 22-23 victory, jumped on the arm, giving nothing else a chance, and then Sandpatch has been burning the clock up in the 300, Shorty, 16.78 if you don't mind, punters, and 3 back and then 16.75 before that. So he will need to get the start right to cross them inside divisions, and I think he does his best work when he's on the arm, that dog. So tough race to work out, but yeah, I thought they were the main keys, main chances in the Heat 1, Shorty.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think the way that Sam Patch is going, though, 3 straight runs sub 17, 16.75, 78, 96, elite times, and when you're in those races, while it was drawn a little closer to the fence, you take on absolute speed merchants. Up in trip here, potentially not as much early pace, and Sam Patch, if we can just get that start right, it's going to be humming along up front and pretty hard to run down. Sunset Tyson, if it was to step and land on it, could absolutely run by it. We know its mid-race zoom's phenomenal. And Unleash Mayhem, if it held both of them out, and, you know, it's going to take some running down. So I think you've identified the 3 key players, maybe leaning towards Sandpatch just off those last 3 runs. The dog's been absolutely airborne. And the second of those heats, well, Cubit Manelli, we know, is very talented, but I'm really quite keen on Sunset Peppy in this race. I like the way that Sunset Peppy's been going. It was an excellent winner 3 back from a middle draw in 22-23, and then has finished runner-up at his last 2 behind Spooky Hook in that recently completed series, the Shorts, and was full of merit, the runs in both of those races. It's excellent record, track and trip. There's some talented dogs in the race, but I think Sunset Peppy, off its last 3 runs, for me, if it gets the start right, will take a fair bit of stopping in. Race number 7, Respecting Cubit Manelli. If this dog turns up, tuned up and switched on, then the race is probably over. But you do have to have a degree of trust to be with the dog, and you also are probably going to be forced to take a pretty trim quote. So I just thought maybe the better odds of the 2, Sunset Peppy, would get the nod for me there tomorrow in race 7.
Yeah, I've barred Cubit Manelli, Shorty, after last week. He's on the official barred list. Agree with Sunset Peppy. Yeah, looks a very winnable race. I just thought 3 and 8 might have been the danger, Shorty. The 3 is 16.77. We talked about Sandpatch in the earlier race. Well, 16.77 is not far off that. Rod Noden's team's going really well. 16 starts for 7 wins, this dog. Did run 22.34 going 4 starts back, so got that good early speed as well. So I thought it would be a sneaky hope. And the dog out in 8, it's a chance of swishing over as well. Dropping back from 488 to 400, Damien Credelli, West on Miley, could possibly get the fly over if Cubit jumps and does stupid things. So, I thought 3, 5 and 8 were the main hopes in that race, Shorty, I thought.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple of excellent races to look forward to there. The Express Stake heats on Friday night at Mandurah. Much mail in regards to the big one up there on Sunday. Train, of course, it's Darwin Cup time up there in the top end. That's what you're there for. Any talk about who might be hard to beat in that Cup final on Sunday?
Well, I probably will get a bit of a mail today, Shorty. I'm going to the Horse Barrier Cup luncheon draw today, so I'll probably see a few people out and about today. But I did just have a quick look. I thought it was a 2-dog race, 2 Flip Your 50 and 6 Smart and Classy. I thought they were the dogs to beat. Flip Your 50's been heavily backed. It won the lead-up race, the Chief Minister's. It's called the Asian Pacific Cup or something now, but it won the lead-up race to the Darwin Cup. Very impressive. And the 6 Smart and Classy, he's from Brisbane, dog formerly trained by Tony Appap. I think he sent the dog up for the race. So maybe at the price we'll go Smart and Classy, but we'll get Bonesy's mail tomorrow, Shorty. He's our Darwin man. He absolutely filled the boots for the punters last week. So we'll wait and hear him tomorrow on the Jet Set. Spot on,
yeah. Bones Harmon, what a debut. 3 plays, bingo, bango, bongo. He smashed them out of the park there for us on the Jet Set last week, and he will be with us once again doing a full Darwin Cup preview on the Jet Set tomorrow. Plenty of WA interest in the Darwin Cup final this year as well. Omar Manelli in 3 raced in the West, Messed Up Mary in box 4 raced in WA, Bantam Rocket in box number 5 raced in WA, and dogs in 7 and 8, Wolfman and Molotov Boy, have also raced here in WA. So we've got more than half the field that have got a bit of WA flavour to them.
Yeah, I think we've had really good success. The Peter Heppel dog won a couple of years ago. His name escapes me. Shorty, you'd remember, but it won the Derby, I think, and it come Taylor Rowlings brought the dog over and it won the
Manzu
Cup. Manzu, that's him.
Yep.
And I had the favourite last year, had no luck, Nangar Chief. So, the WA dogs do really well up in Darwin. So, we're cheering on a few of them dogs, and that's a really popular night, Shorty. A lot of people get to the dogs, and it's good to see so many people coming, not only to the horses but to the dogs as well when they get up here on their trip. So I can't wait for Sunday night.
Absolutely, and I'm sure you're looking forward to later on tonight where we've got a pile of these different, state sprint heats and distance heats going on around Australia as well as into the weekend. But these are some of the better nights on the calendar where we get a chance to have a look at the best dogs in each individual state that are having a tilt at the Nationals.
Yeah, absolutely, Short. I'll probably find myself at the casino tonight. A lot of the boys from Melbourne head there, Chris Johansson and stuff, so they might even have runners tonight, so we might be able to get a sneaky tip off them. But, yeah, the Nationals are a good time, Short. He brings everyone together and, representing his state, it'd be a proud achievement. So Monday, hopefully, we can get there. But, yeah, looking forward to tonight's racing, Shorty. Wall to wall across Australia is going to be outstanding. Yeah,
magnificent. Well, Train, tremendous catching up with you this morning. Appreciate your time here on Great Greys. Have a ripper time at that barrier draw function, and we'll be, of course, hearing from you tomorrow morning on the Sports Daily with Diggers and Tim with your thoughts for Friday night chasing, and then we'll team up for the Tab Touch Greyhound Jet Set, the third of those podcasts tomorrow, and it was a spectacular second edition. We'll look forward to hopefully doing something very similar this time around tomorrow. That'll be dropping just after lunchtime tomorrow if you're looking to have a punt over the course of the weekend. On the Greyhounds, the trainer and myself team up with Jace Campbell along with Corey Smith looking at the Meadows. Bones Harmon will have all that Darwin Cup action, and of course the Kennel Mail as always from Shano's Kennel. Lukey Townsend will join us for all of the latest there from the House Kennel, and of course the Credelli brothers Damien and Graham do a great job sharing their Kennel Mail. That's all there on the Greyhound Jet Set tomorrow from around about midday across our socials. Good on you, Train. Have a ripper day. Look forward to chatting to you tomorrow.
Yeah, look forward to it, Shorty, and get your pens ready for tomorrow's Jet Set punters. Apparently last week the boys were paying people's mortgages off, so get on board and get your pens ready.
Beautifully done. Well done, the Train, the Shane Train Williams joining us from up there in Darwin where he's all set to get along to that barrier draw function. We have got our first race for broadcast coming up, punters, in some 4.5 minutes. It is at Cranbourne over the 1,200 metres. Having a quick look at the market before we bring in Jace Campbell. Maycom 340 into 310 at the head of the market. Chase Your Dreams 460 350 to 330. Kirribilli's been 850 to 480. And found 5 out to 7. Witter 10 into 7. And Aretta Luca Girl 650 out to 12. Scratchings of 3, 4 and 5 there to pay 1 and 2 only. The first of the day in 4 minutes at Cranbourne. But let's welcome in Jaycin Campbell. He was excellent for us, as we touched on there on the Greyhound Jet Set last week, and he's a pivotal part of the team here on Great Greys each and every Thursday. He now joins us on the line. How do you do, Jace? Great to be catching up. How's it all going in your neck of the woods on this Thursday?
I wish I was going as good as the train. Geez, going to the casino tonight at the Darwin Cup, that sounds like a dream come true.
He's in good company too. They tell me he'll be playing up there, so he'll have a good time of it, that is for sure and certain, and he'll likely be getting around your tips out of the program this morning. It's an excellent night of chasing right around this great country with a bunch of the national sprint and distant heats going on around the place. A bit of it carries over into the weekend as well, but it's always one of the more enjoyable nights of chasing, seeing all the stars from the different states aim up at the Nationals.
Yes, 100%. Can't wait to watch Queensland's best greyhounds go around and obviously all the other greyhounds across the nation.
Indeed. All right, well, let's get your thoughts tonight up there at the Creek. Who do you like on this card?
Yeah, kicking off my best bet of the night, race 4, number 1, Cluster. I think he's found an extremely winnable race here. There's only 3 runners or 3 opposition runners here. He's not necessarily a box 1 dog, but I think he'll get away with it here. I don't think you'd probably want a better box for him in a race like this because Super Scrub in box 2 has elite early speed. I think he'll clear him very easily early and he can just lob Strann's back, and he's much stronger late in the piece. So I think he'll be a very easy winner for us in race 4.
All right, race 4, number 1, the best of them, Cluster, and then you go deeper into the card.
Yeah, race 9, number 8, Nangar Rocket. I think he brings the right form lines to this race. Last week he run ICIs down to 4 lengths over the 600 metres in 35.04. Gets a bit of a birthday set up here, I think, Shortte. He's drawn box 8 where he's had 10 starts for 6 wins and locked on Scotch returns here over the 600 metres. Very hard railer, so no reason why Nangar Rocket can't get a clear run and add to his really good box 8 record.
Very nice. The Floss runner, race 9, number 8, Nangar Rocket. On to the meeting down there in the Apple Isle tonight, down at Launceston. Key plays there?
Yeah, going to race 4, playing the 4 here, Buckle Up Eastern. On a place-only basis, I don't like the favourite at $1.22. I think she's really poorly boxed. Foxy Foliaki in box 3 is a really crazy crasher, so I think she might be in trouble, and she does like to shift off the track herself. So it's just a race with not a lot of speed. Buckle Up Eastern, watch him spear through this pack here. I think he'll find the top and hopefully hold on for a drum.
All righty, race 4, number 4 for a tickie, Buckle Up Eastern. On to race number 5.
Race 5, number 7, Darrell's Choice. With a scratching of gravitational in box 8, I just don't think there's enough speed here to hold out Darrell's Choice. She should find the front. It's not extremely strong, but I think she'll make her own luck on speed, and that's all you can ask for. And then I'll just quickly head through to the last race, Shorty. I know Cranbourne's quickly approaching. Best bet of the night for me at Launceston. He's been a great dog for connections and should be really hard to beat. Race 6, number 3, Supreme Leader. Pretty much gets ideal conditions here. He's clearly the best dog in this race. Box 4 does want to shift off the track. Box 7's a good beginner that wants to get back to the rails, and I think that will just leave his main danger, Fraser Price, in all sorts. Looks like a bit of a sandwich set up for her, and if he is close enough, he will absolutely demolish his slot.
Very nice indeed. Supreme Leader, very talented sprinter down there in Tassie. The best of the night for Jaycin Campbell, race 6, number 3, Supreme Leader. Also, just quickly tonight there at Albion Park, other heats, Bears Bullet, $2, Tagavai Lower, 340, Speed Zone, 460, Tarawai Lee, 550, the first of those heats. We get to see the star stayer, Valpolicella, taking on Icy Eyes, who is back in good form, was an excellent winner there over the 600 metres last week. Valpolicella in the Tommy Sauce at $1.55, winner 11 of 18 with 5 placings over the trip, an absolute star stayer for Tony Zammit. That will also be one of the real highlights on the program there tonight at Albion Park. Jace, love your work this morning here on Great Greys. Thanks so much for your time, and I can't wait to catch up with you again tomorrow on the Jet Set podcast. Of course, we'll get your key plays there on Saturday night at Wenny Park for another big night of chasing there. Until then, many winners.
Too easy. Thank you, Shorty. See you, mate.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Where it's time to catch up with the Hall of Famer Neil Brown. Have a look at this stunning card tonight at Sandown Park. 12 races, 3 heats of the Victoria National Distance Series, and then 5 heats of the Vic National Sprint Series. Races 3 through to 10 tonight. They are just dripping with quality, and Brownie's seen plenty of these over the years. We may even grill him for some of his favourite Nationals winners over the years. Welcome to you, Neil Brown. How do we find you on this Thursday?
Oh, terrific, David. Beautiful day here in Melbourne, although it's a little cool, but we've got a fantastic card. It's your first time in memory, I think. I can recall 5 heats of the sprint, all outstanding, and certainly 3 races over the distance of 7:15, which has been a little unusual in recent times as well, David. So, yeah, considering some of the other states have got finals only, we've got a star-studded lineup at Sandown tonight, haven't we?
Oh, big time. And what it also shows is that it still means an awful lot to the participants in Victoria to represent the Big V.
Absolutely.
That's great.
We always talk about the uniqueness of the Nationals and the place that does hold, and not everything's about money, David. And, I know the trainers love to represent their states with their greyhounds, and win a national title is very high on their list. So, as you say, the response to the high-class greyhounds that are in tonight is an example of that, isn't it?
Oh, big time. And we've talked a lot about the series overall and how important it is to maintain this series and the opportunity for industry members to catch up. It's still a huge, huge thrill to wear the Guernsey for your state, to go away and represent, your industry. It's a really proud moment for people when they get to do this, and it's a series that I love each and every year. We're going to get the opportunity tonight to see some of Australia's best strutting their stuff in the heats all around Australia. It's well orchestrated so that everybody gets to see all the different dogs in the build-up on Sky. That'll all be happening there tonight, so I look forward to all of that coverage. And these sprint heats tonight, they are some sensational heats on the way through, littered with very fast dogs. We get to see Morton. There's a stack of the dogs that went around earlier on in the Sandgroper this year that are going around. One of them stepping up in trip. We get to see Big Energy going around up to the 715 metres there on tonight's program, so that'll be another highlight.
This is your home of the greyhound good oil, Great Greys.
Where we're catching up with Neil Brown to have a look at this big program at Sandown tonight. Brownie, let's get your thoughts for the early quaddie to kick things off, and here over the 515 metres to kick off tonight, a mixed grade 6 and 7 final.
Yeah, pretty short Van Wink from box number 7. Looks very hard to beat. Impressive. Couple of wins back-to-back at 29.48 here at Sandown. I think it'll win to beat 8 and 1. I'm going to take in the early quad, Celestial Dawn and Ashton Hamilton. In race number 2, over the 595 here, mixed take, very keen about Ashton Costello. I think the greyhound's well drawn down there in box number 2, paying about 280. And I think the other 2 chances are going to take a 1 and 4, so 2, 1 and 4 flying down, certainly a chance there. And the 4, the mighty little Mia, who got home for us last week, stepping up to the 595 tonight. Race number 3, first of the distance heats tonight, over the 7:15. Ella's Babe certainly has done nothing wrong. Had a trial on the track, very impressive, in very impressive form. 41.71 winner here on at Sandown Park. I think it'll win from the red. It is short, $1.75. But chances to Black Silencer. Solid win last weekend. The 4 Big Energy. Let's see what he does over the 700. Certainly capable. Race number 4, second heat of the Distance Championship. Here I made a 2, 5 and 7. Bill Sargent looks the best drawn of these to get an early lead and be hard to run down. I do give chances to Shake and Bake, and the greyhound drawn wide Aunt Virginia also good claims in the race. So 2, 5 and 7 early quad for us. Moving into the main quad tonight, heat 3 of the National Distance Championship is the first leg of the quaddie. Pretty even heat this. I think there's a few chances. 4, 6 and 2 for me. She's had a couple of weeks off Irish Millie after campaign in Queensland, but she didn't break through for a win, but she's certainly raced very well, very solid performances up there. I don't think this is the hardest of the 3 heats tonight. I think Irish Millie, the camp's pretty up and about, better chances tonight. So I'm going to tip her on top, but definitely chances to 6 and 2 in the race. Mapunga Surprise is racing in pretty good form, and I think the 2 is also worth taking in the quaddy. Fire Chamber had a good win here a couple of starts ago. So the first leg of the quaddy 4, 6 and 2 for us. First heat of the Sprint Championship is race number 6. As you said, as we discussed earlier, David, all these heats are star-studded in class. Couldn't have been more impressive last week. Mapunga Smoky, what an outstanding performance in that absolutely red-hot field that went around in the free-fall last week. He just got to the front. He's been racing in excellent form. He's got a good record at Sandown Park. He's 5 wins from 11 starts. And I think he can win again. Vincent Bale is a big rap on this greyhound. And I think he's got some sort of claims if he has a bit of luck in running tonight. And Stormy Day off box number 1 is some sort of chance coming with that good draw. But looks hard to beat Mapunga Smoky for mine, 8-3-1. Thirdly, the quaddy race number 7 here is another heat of the Sprint Championship. This is a really difficult race. There's plenty of chances here, heat number 2. And I made it 7, 3, 8 and 1. I've stuck with Transponder. He's the class. He has the absolute class greyhound in the race. He's got a fabulous 5 and 7 from 17. And in a very open race, I'm going to take him to win, but certainly chances to a fire. Did have Elliott last week and had not much luck at all in running. Definitely a chance. The 8 House of Turbo has got lots of really great stuff, and I think it can be a challenger to the favourite, the Transponder, and the Red Cracker Jack Ball, beautifully drawn, has a 29.07 win on the track, and got box 1 tonight. So tough heat, 7, 3, 8, 1. Coming home in the final leg of the quaddy tonight, over the 5.15 is heat number 3, and I thought I made it 3, 8 and 1. Pretty hard to even
Brownie, can I just get you to move around? Your phone line's just breaking up a bit on us there. We did get 3, 8 and 1 here in the final leg, but maybe just stand up and turn to the left or right. That sounds a bit better.
How's that, mate?
Beautiful.
Drawn okay. Yeah. Drawn okay here in the hub, and as I say, he's won 7 times here. He doesn't do too much wrong, and I think he's the one to beat tonight in this heat. But it is a good race. Morton, we know what sort of ability he's got. He's had a month off. He comes back tonight. He's a 29.14 winner on the track, and I think the red Mapunga Tully is nicely drawn in the race in box 1. And I think second in the maturity was a really good, solid performance. So good race to round out the quaddy, 3, 8 and 1 for me in the hub. Now, avoid with finding a few winners of recent weeks, David. I've found 3 for us tonight, so I've been quite ambitious indeed. My best bet's on the card tonight. Race 2, Aston Costello. Do like him from box number 2 over the 5.95. It's about a 2.80 chance. I think he leads and wins. I do like in race 9, number 3, Dutch Riot. Don't think we saw the best of him yet. It was a very good performance running second last week. He's a high-class greyhound. I think he can win at around the $3 mark tonight. And in race 11, down in class tonight, Shimmer Steel. He's around the 280 mark. Once he drops in class, this greyhound, he's hard to beat. And I think from box number 2, he's a solid performer. We'll tip Shimmer Steel at around the 280 mark. So let's hope one of them gets home at least, David. But tipping the 3 best bet on a really red-hot card at Sandown Park tonight.
Race 2, number 2. Race 9, number 3. Race 11, number 2. And race 11, number 2, Shimmer Steel was runner-up behind the dog that Brownie tipped us as his best bet last week. Went on to pay just under $10 last week, Maya. So your fans are certainly singing your praises as we speak. Brownie, you've been excellent for us right through the duration, but you're in a bit of a purple patch of form at the moment, and long may that continue. We'll be getting around 2-2, 9-3, 11-2, and your early quaddie tonight, 7-8-1, 2-1-4, 1-8-4, 2-5-7, and the main quad, 4-6-2, 8-3-1, 7, 3, 8, 1, 3, 8 and 1. If you've missed those, they will be up across our social media and also on the blog section a bit later on. And Brownie, I'll give you a week to think about it, but next week I'd love to have a bit of a chat to you about potentially your 2 or 3 favourite national sprint and distance winners from the history of the Nationals. That'd be something for us to chat about next week. A little bit of homework for you.
I'd love to recall them, David, and I think I can easily come up with that information for you next week. We'll have a chat then.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Neil. All the very best, mate. Enjoy tonight out there at Sandown.
Good on you, David. Thanks, mate.
There we have it, Neil Brown with the latest. Matty, we've got some divvies to clear.
Checking them out from the venue of Hawkesbury with weights coming through. 5 Dawn Service, 170, 110. 6 Imposing Pier, $1. And 12 Sugar Fire, 220. 140 Quinella, 180 Exacta, 540 Trifecta. 5, 6, 12, 4 First 4, $31.10 with the sub 5, 1, 2, 7 and 9. Scratchings paying at Cranbourne as well, correct weight there. Cairns, our next race at $10.50. I'll tell you go $1.50. Tote favourite in the opening leg of the quad and is 134 with Tab Touch. Cranbourne in race 3, note High Flying Rosie's been withdrawn, a late scratching, number 11 out of race 3 at Cranbourne.
You are tuned into Shorty and the team on Great Greys.
And it's time to talk all things South Australian. Chasing now, Sean Matheson's been good enough to join us. Always one of his favourite times of the year when the Nationals are up and firing. He now joins us. G'day, Sean. How are you today?
Yeah, hi, David. Yeah, great to be on the show again this week. Nationals is a great time of year, but even more special when it rolls around to South Australia, which is what it's going to happen in the next few weeks towards the end of August, where we get all the Group 1 performers all venturing to Angle Park and also at Murray Bridge for the straight track national final as well. So, as you mentioned, really exciting time in greyhound racing, but even more special with it all coming to SA this month.
It is indeed, Sean, and I've been lucky enough over the years to be involved with the local race club when we've hosted the Nationals, and it's a great opportunity for staff members, but also industry to really be proud of their industry and host all the different guests from all over Australia. It's a really special time and a great opportunity to really showcase your industry and your facilities when the Nationals come to town.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good opportunity for governing bodies and clubs all to get together in the one spot, and that doesn't always happen, quite easily. So everyone comes together. There's 3 or 4 days of meetings, getting to know people, dialogue, ideas, all that sort of stuff. And so it's a really good opportunity, certainly for the people who administer and are very much involved in the industry to come along. But then, as you mentioned, the participants, some of the participants come to a state they've never been to, ever, look at different facilities, way other trainers do stuff and pick up some learning. So, yeah, it's a really important month, really, the Nationals month, if you like, for everyone involved, absolutely.
Big time, yeah, and it covers all aspects. All the stewards have their convention and catch-up, animal welfare, so all the different GAP programs get together, the administrators themselves and all industry. So it's a great time for the sport. It's a really historic race, and long may it continue. It might not be the richest race when it comes to prize money, but I still love it as much as a lot of the other Group 1s on the calendar, and I know how special it is for different people when they do get the opportunity to represent their state. It's going to be very, very exciting. Okay, well, let's roll up the sleeves, see if we can't find a few winners for the punters tonight out there at Angle Park. Sean, it's an excellent card. Who have you come up with?
Okay, well, I need a bit of Brownie's purple patch, actually, to help me tonight on Angle Park on a Thursday night. So hopefully, listening to him, I can get a few for the listeners. So I've got 3 best bets tonight. The first one's a bit of value, and I do like race 3, number 3, Whiskey for Wally Harkins. She's around that $10 mark, and pretty much every dog in this race needs a little bit of luck somewhere over the $5.95 journey. Her luck, effectively, is she does her best when she can pretty much lead and maybe pinch a break over this middle distance. And I think she's an absolute, she's a huge chance of leading tonight at that good price. And as I said, her competitors just need a touch of luck to find a spot, get clear running late in the race. She's had a couple of runs over the short course, 300, 342, a good third last start. And she has raced over the 530 with good form. but you have to go back a few months for over 5.95, and she's ran second behind Magical Mystique. So I'm just hoping she recaptures a bit of that middle distance form, leads them up, and she should run a pretty bold race.
Okay, race 3, number 3, Whiskey at the double figure odds worth a spec early on in the program. Who's next?
Who's next? So race 7 is the third heat of our sprint championships, and our heats are excellent, and we're really wrapped with the quality we've got, which will make for an excellent state final next week. But I like race 7, number 6, Fantastic Spike for Liz Chegia. Certainly one of the favourites for the overall series. Quoted at $2.40 in this race tonight, David. And anyone who saw his run last week where he drew one, got squeezed at the winning post, went back towards the rear of the field, he was still back midfield, just prior to turning for home. And he rocketed home to just go down behind Exile Bale. Whereas Poppy ran third in that race, and I thought she had every chance when she led them up. She's probably going to lead tonight or go close to the lead, but I think Fantastic Spike, drawn out a bit, a vacant box on his inside. He'll get every opportunity to run to that first turn with some clear running, and he's just going to be really hard to hold out over the concluding stages.
It was a massive run last week, and prior to that narrow defeat, he'd won 5 in a line. You're getting $2.40. I know there's some decent opposition here, but I think it's a great bet tonight. Fantastic Spike. Loved the run last week, as you touched on there, Sean, and this dog's just a pure winner. 33 starts, 15 wins, 13 placings, and you know what you get with Fantastic Spike. The dog's always chasing its backside off, so hopefully too good for them again tonight. Race 7, number 6, Fantastic Spike at the $2.40. And your third play?
The third of the play comes up in race 9. It's number 1, Pet Detective for the Ben Rawlings team. Drawn perfectly, this dog has won 3 of 4 from the red box. A very quick last start winner over the 3.95 at Murray Bridge and going 22.25. That's very fast and winning by 6 lengths. That was its first run back for about a month. Its last 3 performances, winning a heat of the Gawler Produce, beating Zinfandel Trace, and then 4th in the semi-final, 5th in the final behind Zinfandel Trace. We know how good she is going. Got really good form, and I think it's drawn perfectly. So around that $2.15, you wouldn't want to really see him get too shorter than that, but I just think he leads, and I think he just wins.
All right, so a nice push there for race 9, number 1 for the Ace Ventura fans. Pet Detective, get around it. Race 3, number 3, Whiskey each way. Race 7, number 6, Fantastic Spike. Race 9, number 1, Pet Detective. Minute 40 to get your bets on here at Cairns over the 950-metre punters. An odds-on favourite with number 1, I'll tell you go. We've got chasing Gawler Friday, Angle Park the early meeting on Saturday, and Murray Bridge on Sunday. Who do you like at those programs, Sean?
Okay, I'll be quick for the listeners, David, and for you. So tomorrow, race 6, number 3, All About Larry at Gawler for Cameron Forshaw. Dropping back in class here from his last start, second at Angle Park. Likes a rail draw, so drawn close should be pretty hard to hold out over the 5.31. Angle Park Saturday morning. I'm looking at race 10, number 5, SA Bred for Hayley Chapman. Really strong winner last week. Similar field, should again be up on speed and should virtually run away from them. And then Murray Bridge on Sunday. Race 4, number 2, Mandala for Damien Smith. She was a nice run in a Gawler sort of prelude on Wednesday. Ran a good second, drawn close to the rail again, should be up on speed and really hard to beat.
Love it. Gawler Friday 6.3. Angle Park Saturday 10.5, Murray Bridge Sunday 4.2. Hearing some exciting news too. We've got some very talented youngsters from WA heading across to SA for your Oaks and Derby, which are just around the corner. So we'll chat to you about that in the next few weeks. All the very best to you, Sean. Thanks so much for your time this morning.
Terrific, David. Yeah, look forward to our chat next week.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Where it's now 9 minutes away from 11 o'clock. No Simon Orchard for the next couple of weeks. He's off on break. We were due to have Mick Cowley join us, but unfortunately he's had a emergency come up and couldn't join us live. But he has sent through his thoughts today at Richmond. Race 6, Talk About It, greyhound number 8, trained by Kirsty Sultana. After a couple of runner-up placings at Maitland, ran best of night at that track July 8 in a fast 25-26, guaranteed to have been up the straight before, and looks the anchor for multis. That's Richmond, race 6, number 8. Casino today, race 8, number 2, Back Creek Benny for Rob Andrews. Won here in best of the day, 27.94, 5 runs back, perfect draw. To Dapto, race 9, number 3, Lukiali, led all the way over this track and tripped 2 starts back and far from disgrace behind Power and Glory in the Gosford Goldmine Heats last start. Can lead and win again. And Wentworth Park tonight, race 3, number 4, On Report for Jaycin Magri. Serious Dog has won 2 of 3, both in best of the night times at Richmond. Other run was a luckless second at Wentworth Park on debut. To Goulburn tomorrow, the $25,000 final of the Zoom Top Maiden. Jody and Andy Lord have 3 finalists, and the fastest of the heat winners was one of theirs, Joey the Jet, who flew in 24.61, perfectly drawn in box 2. We've got Jimmy the Jet. They've got Joey the Jet. It's the one to follow there tomorrow at Goulburn in the Zoom Top Maiden. Wentworth Park on Saturday night, couple of plays for Mick Race. 7, number 1, Cindy Keeping, has been racing middle distance events, but is one of the most gifted chasers in work and has run 29.45 here in June. Drawn to lead, and if she runs anywhere near that, will be winning. And deeper into the card, race 8, number 2, Furness, is quality and was 3rd in the Vic Peters a few weeks back. Also won the Richmond Derby as a 29.46 PB here and can handle the wide draw. So in recap for Mick Cowley, Richmond, race 6, number 8, Talk About It. Casino, race 8, number 2, Back Creek Benny. Dapto, race 9, number 3, Lukiali. Wentworth Park, race 3, number 4, On Report. They're all tonight. Goulburn tomorrow, Joey the Jet in the feature final there. And Wentworth Park Saturday, race 7, number 1, and race 8, number 2, Cindy Keeping and Finesse. They are the thoughts of Mick Cowley. Thank you to Mick for sending those through for our listeners. Let's welcome in Peter O'Neill. He'll be calling all of the action there at Northam tonight. A bumper 12 race card highlighted by those 2 heats of the WA Sprint Championship races. 10 and 11 on the program. Welcome to you, Pete, and no doubt you're looking forward to getting up the hill to Northam. It's a great 12 race card.
It certainly is, although Matt McDermott told me it's going to be 2 degrees, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be wanting to hang around too long after the last Shortte. And the last couple of races obviously have the features, the WA Sprint Championships. We've spoken about this over recent weeks, the history of the Nationals, and we've had some very good greyhounds. And WA's had a very good record. I think they've won 3 of the last 4 of the sprints, the national sprints. So hopefully we can send a greyhound across to Adelaide and be very competitive, if not win again this year.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got a proud history in the races you touched on, and just finished having a chat to Sean Matheson. They're really excited about hosting the event across there in Adelaide over the next few weeks. Let's get into your thoughts for the 2 features tonight. Race number 10 is the first of them. Had a chat to the Shane Train Williams earlier on in the program today. We see Miss Envy at $2.25, the Tab Touch favourite, out from $2.15. Money's Good Barbecue Man, $3.60 to $3. Uncle Tommy, the dual Group 1 winner, $5.50 and firm. Hinto 6 out to 8. Disco Daisy, spec'd at longer odds, 11 as big as 15, now 8. All other runners $12 and upwards. Who wins the first heat?
It's a great race, isn't it? Miss Envy, the favourite, she's 3 from 3, and she's run that 29.05 time last start from this very box. It wasn't a country assessed race, but when they're running those sort of times, Shorty, it probably doesn't matter what sort of class you're up against. But I just think the pressure is going to be too good, too strong tonight. And so there are 4. I've put her in for 4th in my selections. I think the races between Barbecue Man, Hinto, and also the Group 1 winner, Uncle Tommy, who won the Perth Cup and the Brisbane Cup earlier in the year. So I'm going with Barbecue Man. He's 3 from 3. He's shown that he doesn't need to lead to win. He won't want to find too much trouble in this classy field. I'm putting him on top. Hinto, my only concern with him is the fact that he's first up at the track. I'm not sure whether Christine and Dave at Barton have taken him up there to have a look at the track. It's very important. Uncle Tommy is another one who I'm not sure if he's seen the track at all. You might know this. We haven't seen him since the end of June when he was up in Queensland for their Rich Carnival, but he is a star. He's won in excess of $400,000. And Miss Envy, she's young. She probably doesn't realise the quality of her opposition against her, but she will be sort of, she'll need to be right on tonight. She's won her last 5. She's undefeated. So the punters believe that she can win. I'm just going to go around her with Barbecue Man on top.
Fair enough too. Looks well backed as well, $3.60 into that $3 price now. And the second of those heats Firelighter at $1.90 here, opened at $2, so it's been popular, as has Transcendent, $3.80 into $3.40. He's got a wonderful record. Daddy's Girl off the inside's been supported 7 into 5. Curo 6 to $7.50. Gimli 10 to $12. All other runners $26 and upwards.
Yeah, Firelighter was beaten by Barbecue Man last week. The time was quick and he went 29.17 from box number 8 the week before. I think he wins this. He's the short price favourite. Paul Stewart's done the right thing, taking his team up there over recent weeks, and they've been able to have a few runs at the track. I think he is the one to beat. There is a very, very smart young dog in Transcendent, a greyhound who's won at his last 3. And they're all at Mandurah. He's 3 from 4 at the track. Importantly, he's only had the one loss, and that was at Northam going back 4 or 5 runs ago from memory. He was a $1.20 favourite on that occasion. I had him in a leg of my multi, and he got into all sorts of trouble. I didn't want to watch it after 50 metres, but he's a very, very talented chaser trained by Crystal Shinner. So I think it's a race in 2 between 3 and 7. I'll be going that way. Curo and Daddy's Girl are the ones I'll put in for the multis.
Yeah, I just think that track experience is going to prove vital there for Firelighter and also Transcendent. They've been there and run quick times. I think they're going to be right there in the mix. I love the run of Firelighter behind Barbecue Man last week, and thought it would be pretty hard to beat. Have you got any best bets on the program, Pete? I'm looking forward to the staying race early doors because, of course, next week we'll have the national WA sprint distance final to go along with the sprint final, and the winner of that will go through to represent WA across there. And a few dogs that are likely to be in that race: Ace in Kuna, Clifton Matilda, Penny Magic, 90 Mile Rose, and Sky Manelli go round over the 7:21 in race 2 of free-for-all tonight. That'll be another real highlight.
I'm going up against, it will be a highlight. Looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to race number 8 on the program, the final of the quaddie. I'm going up against the Shane Train, and he's been in great form recently, but I like Shimmer Dream from a wide draw. I caught up with the guru, Gary Wilson, who owns this greyhound just because he needs the money, and this greyhound actually knocked me out in the first leg of a multi last week. So I'm talking about I'm having a lot of bets, Shorty. I don't really, but Shimmer Dream is a greyhound who I think is well drawn out in box number 7 and currently the favourite at $3.10. I still think that's a good bet for Shimmer Dream.
Yeah, it loves the wide draw, as you alluded to, and I loved its recent win. It just zoomed into it out wide, so it's really well housed out there in box 7, and good luck to the guru. Great to see him involved with another dog. He's going to have plenty of fun with Shimmer Dream. I don't mind this card. I'm taking multis through race 3, number 3, Miss Relentless. Race 4, 1 and 4 are the key prospects. La Sagrada and Vinales, just with the benefit of the inside draw. I'll lean towards 1, La Sagrada, but taking novelties with 1 and 4 there. Race 5, number 8, Magic Entry. Recent form's been hot for Tim Gummo. Race 11, happy enough to stick with the 3 there, Firelighter, and a roving banker play and a place bet. Race 12, number 4, You're Busted. Moving in nicely for race number 2 of the day here at Cranbourne. Pete, good calling to you tonight there. Thanks, at Northern. Matty McDermott, you've been outstanding as always there, getting everyone up online, producing the show with absolute distinction. And punters, thank you for your company on this Thursday morning here on TAB Radio for Great Greys. Bang on 11 o'clock. They're still moving in here for the second of the day at Cranbourne. If you've missed these tips, keep your eyes out on the Tab Touch blog and across our socials. That'll be dropping a little later this afternoon. And, of course, make sure you tune in tomorrow between 9 and 10, chasing winners. And then tomorrow afternoon, it's the Tab Touch Greyhound Jet Set. The Shane Train Williams and myself looking to do something like we did last week. Good luck, punters. Have a ripper Thursday. Make sure you tune in to all of the greyhound content over the next few days. Have a ripper day, Matty.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.